One analyst called it the single worst one-day piece of labor market news in America's history. A record 3.3 million Americans filed initial unemployment claims last week as the coronavirus pandemic decimates local economies and forces businesses across the country to shutter their doors and lay off workers, according to a report published on Thursday by the Department of Labor. This morning's jobless claims confirm that the United States is in the thralls of a catastrophic unemployment crisis, the likes of which we haven't seen since the Great Depression, Andrew Stetner, senior fellow at the Century Foundation, said in a statement on Thursday. This represents the single worst one-day piece of labor market news in America's history. Last week's unemployment jump was unlike anything the U.S. economy has ever seen, as the number of people filing initial claims of unemployment climbed by more than 3 million. The previous initial claim high-water mark was 695,000, reached in October 1982. States continue to cite services industries broadly, particularly accommodation and food services, as among the most heavily impacted by the coronavirus-induced economic shutdown, according to the report. Additional industries heavily cited for the increases included the health care and social assistance, arts, entertainment and recreation, transportation and warehousing, and manufacturing industries. Data showing the economic severity of the outbreak has been slow to trickle in, due largely to the inherent lag times built into many government data releases. But analysts widely expected a significant uptick in unemployment claims during the weeks ahead, particularly after initial claims spiked 33% in a report issued last week for their largest one-week climb since the 1990s, eclipsing any single week of unemployment spikes during the Great Recession. Thursday's report blew that increase out of the water. Read, Jerome Powell, Fed comfortable with stimulus spending amid coronavirus pandemic. These numbers are a sign of just how much damage the labor market has quickly taken. The sudden stop nature of this economic shock has quickly thrown millions of people out of work, Nick Bunker, director of economic research at Indeed Hiring Lab, wrote in a research note on Thursday. Further worsening the picture, their likelihood of getting hired has recently dropped as well. Many of these workers were employed in industries that may have to remain shuttered for quite some time. The latest U.S. unemployment rate clocked in at 3.5% in February, a historically low level that will assuredly rise when it is next officially updated on April 3 for the month of March. Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis President and CEO James Bullard said earlier this week he believes unemployment could climb as high as 30% as the U.S. weathers a prolonged but intentional economic freeze to halt the spread of the coronavirus domestically. With partial lockdowns across the country leading to a sudden stop in economic activity, the U.S. economy will experience the largest economic contraction on record with the most severe surge in unemployment ever, a team of researchers at Oxford Economics said in a statement Thursday, predicting the unemployment rate would likely surge above 10% in April. As of Thursday morning, more than 69,000 Americans were confirmed to have been infected. More than 1,000 have died, according to the latest data from Johns Hopkins University. Late Wednesday night, lawmakers in the Senate passed a coronavirus relief package that would extend unemployment protections and provide financial support to businesses and consumers in the midst of an unprecedented economic shutdown. Should unemployment claims keep climbing, however, experts predict more work will need to be done on Capitol Hill to support an eroded labor market. It is reasonable to expect that some, perhaps many, but not all, of these jobs will come back once we venture back into the public, Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst and Washington bureau chief at Bankrate.com, said in a statement on Thursday. One of the goals of the legislation now moving through Congress is to help many businesses survive and retain workers.